just to back up a bit, it sounds like you've been very clear on who you are, your identity, your expression. Just it seems like that just was part of the program. But do you have a particular coming out story or lesson or something we can talk about there just to shed a little bit of light on your experience and what had happened for you?
Yeah. So I think anytime I talk about coming out, I talk a lot about how we, in our community, for many of us, there may be one significant moment, but we come out all the time, based on the people who we meet and the situations we're in, and also the different places in life that we find ourselves and learn about ourselves. I think that my most significant coming out experience was when I was coming out to my dad. And my dad and I don't talk today, but that day he did a great job. And my family, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. And so, very religious. My great grandmother was like the strongest, I think, Jehovah's Witness, but in my immediate family, we were like Jehovah's Witness light. But Jehovah's Witness, right? But Jehovah's Witness nonetheless. Yeah. So there was a real upbringing in understanding queerness from a religious perspective, that it was a sin and all those things. Fast forward, I'm 16. I know that I'm gay. I'm dating someone at the time. I'm like, who cares? Whatever. So I tell my family. It starts to kind of whisper around, and one day I find myself in a car with my dad on the ride, on the way to a dentist appointment. And we're driving, and there's a woman on the street, and he goes, Jabari, you see that girl over there? And I go, yeah, sure. And he goes, yeah, well, like, what do you think she looks like? And I was like, well, this is weird. I don't know. Like, I don't know who she is. And he said, yeah, but do you like her? And I could tell at that point he was trying to figure out how to have the conversation. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know her, but I like her shoes. And he was like, well, that's not what I'm talking about. He struggled, and then he was like, do you like girls? And so I replied, and I have different feelings about gender, today, but at that time I was like, no, Dad, I don't. I'm gay, right? It's boys. He was like, wow, I didn't expect that, family upbringing, all those things. But then he said, you're really smart and really funny, and you're my son, and you make me proud, and I love you, and it's not gonna matter. And that moment was big for me, because I thought, whoa, like, this is the big moment that everyone talks about. Are you going to be accepted by your dad? I'm the oldest. And if that feeling of like, okay, if your parents support you, then you can do anything, you're limitless. And so that's kind of how I really got started in the work also. I was like, every kid deserves to feel the way I feel right now on this ride to the dentist with their dad. And so that was like a significant coming out experience for me. And so that's probably, that's like the story I tell. But I think that, gosh, I've had probably 10 comings out in the past, month or so. But in the government, I don't get to really come out. I'm the LGBTQ person. So it's interesting kind of walking around with that, on your face.
Yeah, right.
But if anything, I love that. I think that the way that I'm able to do my best to subvert government culture, like, it can be a real conservative place. And I think the way that we connect with people is to be with and like the people. And so I try not to hold back, and I try to be myself and bring all of me and my community right in there to City Hall.